The mystery behind Alex Murdaugh. Why did he kill his family? The name Alex Murdaugh sends chills down the spines of true crime enthusiasts everywhere. Once a respected lawyer and part of the powerful Murdaugh family dynasty in South Carolina, Alex has become the center of one of the most shocking and complex crime stories in recent memory. How could someone who seemed to have it all, a prominent career, wealth, a thriving family, drift so far into darkness? On June 7, 2021, his wife, Maggie, and their youngest son, Paul, met a brutal and tragic fate that left the world searching for answers. In this analysis, we will unravel the enigma of Alex Murdaugh. What led this man to commit such horrifying crimes? Was it the weight of crumbling finances, ruptured familial ties, or his tumultuous addiction to opioids? Or was there something deeper, something hidden beneath layers of appearances and privilege that pushed him to such a devastating act? Sit tight as we journey into the mystery of a family empire undone by tragedy. The Murdaugh family was not just wealthy or influential, they were legendary in South Carolina's Low Country. Over 3 generations, the Murdaugh dynasty built an iron grip on the legal and judicial systems of the area. From the early 1900s to the 2000s, they presided over countless cases, shaping the course of justice and becoming revered, even feared. The name Murdaugh carried weight, power, and an almost mythological status in a place where family names are currency. But behind the polished public image was a family facing pressure most of us could only imagine. Being at the top isn't as glamorous as it seems, and as we would eventually learn, wealth and legacy can sometimes be shackles rather than shields. It began as an otherwise quiet evening at the sprawling Murdaugh estate in Colleton County. By nightfall, the peace was shattered. Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and her son Paul, 22, were found shot to death near the property's kennels. The brutality of the scene shocked investigators. Both victims were killed at close range, and the attack bore marks of deep, unrestrained rage. Paul, the younger son, had suffered gunshot wounds inflicted by a shotgun, while Maggie was shot multiple times with an assault rifle. 2 methods, 2 victims, and a singular question: why? From the beginning, suspicions swirled around Alex Murdaugh. Despite his immediate expression of devastation, gaps in his alibi and discrepancies in his behavior raised eyebrows. What secrets lay behind the gates of the once mighty Murdaugh estate? Alex Murdaugh's carefully constructed facade was crumbling long before the murders. Over the years, his outwardly perfect life had begun to unravel. Underneath his polished image was a man grappling with extraordinary pressures, some self-inflicted, others mounting from external forces. Paul Murdaugh himself carried a significant weight. In 2019, he was at the center of a scandal involving a fatal boating accident. Paul had been allegedly driving a boat under the influence, crashing into a bridge and killing 19-year-old Mallory Beach. The incident brought unwanted scrutiny to the Murdaugh family and began chipping away at their local influence and untouchable reputation. The lawsuit stemming from the accident loomed over the family, casting a heavy shadow of public shame. Paul had become the subject of local whispers and legal battles, and some theorize that Alex felt a desperate need to protect his family's name. But was this enough to commit murder? As the investigation unfolded, shocking revelations about Alex's personal finances came into the spotlight. He had allegedly embezzled millions of dollars from his law firm and clients over the years, leading to a crippling web of debt. Prosecutors revealed that Alex had been siphoning money to fuel an opioid addiction and to cover his lavish lifestyle. As the walls closed in, so did the pressure. By 2021, Alex Murdaugh's life was in freefall. Every secret he tried to bury slowly came to light. His financial heist was unraveling, his family's reputation lay in tatters, and his addiction only compounded his erratic behavior. Adding to his turmoil was Alex's failing relationship with Maggie. By June 2021, reports suggest that she was living separately from Alex, and that the two were considering a divorce. While public appearances maintained a veil of unity, those who knew the Murdaughs described a growing distance between them. Maggie had reportedly confided in friends that Alex's behavior had grown unstable. Some suspect she wanted to leave, a decision that could have threatened the family's empire and possibly ignited a conflict that spiraled out of control. Was the collapse of his marriage the final trigger for Alex's unraveling? Alex Murdaugh's addiction to opioids was not a secret once the case entered the public eye, but few anticipated how deeply it had controlled his life. By his own admission, Alex had been battling addiction for decades, spending vast sums of money to maintain his habit. Opioid addiction often comes with chaos, instability, and impaired judgment. It can blur the lines between right and wrong and leave users trapped in cycles of desperation. Did Alex's drug dependency create a clouded state of mind, pushing him toward violence? Or was the addiction merely one piece of a larger pattern of self-destruction? As details came to light, Alex's initially tragic role as the mourning patriarch began to shift toward something darker. Law enforcement identified key holes in his story. He claimed to have been visiting his elderly mother at the time of the murders, but forensic evidence soon painted a contradictory picture. One of the most damning pieces of evidence? A video recorded on Paul's phone moments before his death. In the footage, Alex's voice can be heard in the background, placing him at the crime scene during the time of the murders, directly contradicting his alibi. This discovery, paired with other forensic clues such as gunshot residue and cell phone data, shifted public perception. Was this conspiracy and misfortune, or a deliberate act of violence? Prosecutors offered a chilling theory. Alex Murdaugh killed his wife and son not because of any direct conflict, but as a desperate attempt to divert attention from his crumbling life. With financial investigations intensifying, numerous lawsuits pending, and his addiction spiraling out of control, Alex may have committed the ultimate crime to garner sympathy and delay investigations. But this theory raises another question. Could an act so unspeakable truly buy him time? Or were the murders born from rage, drug-fueled paranoia, or an unbearable weight of disappointment, shame, and fear? Another theory centers on speculation that the swelling pressure to uphold the Murdaugh legacy grew too great. If Maggie and Paul's actions, or even their existence, threatened to expose the family's vulnerabilities, could Alex have perceived them as collateral damage? The Murdaugh case has gripped the public like a true crime novel brought to life. News outlets, podcasts, and social media communities have dissected every piece of information, offering their own interpretations and theories. What adds to its mystique is the stark juxtaposition. The downfall of a figure so protected by privilege feels both shocking and inevitable. For low-country locals, the case represents the end of an era. The Murdaughs once symbolized power, stability, and control. Now they serve as a cautionary tale of how even the most insulated lives can unravel. The Murdaugh case is more than just a story about crime. It is a study of human behavior under immense pressure, a potent mix of wealth, influence, and the burdens they carry. Once the surface begins to crack, even the most powerful individuals become vulnerable to their own weaknesses. It also sheds light on the complexities of addiction, the toxic expectations of family dynasties, and the consequences of unchecked privilege. For true crime fans, it offers a chilling reminder of just how much lies beneath appearances. As of now, Alex Murdaugh stands as the primary figure responsible for the murders of Maggie and Paul. But the question of why still lingers. Was it fear, anger, or desperation? Or is the answer something we may never fully understand? The Murdaugh case remains a chilling example of how pressure, secrets, and privilege can collide to create unspeakable tragedy. For now, we are left to wonder, what other secrets still lie hidden in the shadows of the Murdaugh family saga? Stay with us as we continue to unravel more mysteries like this one. The world of true crime is a dark and winding path, one we're here to navigate together.